You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Capture After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Capture After Show.
Thing is for doing, and today we are doing Capture Episode 8, The Peanut Butter Pact. And if you guys don't recognize this song, it is the theme from the Pink Panther, because in the studio today we have our special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kirsten, and I am a member of the Pink team, along with Arlynn Ilgenfritz.
Woohoo! And I also have my amazing co-host here, James from the Line
Hey,
team.
Keetin.
Hey, James. It's nice to see you again. We just can't get rid of you.
No.
Your team got eliminated like weeks ago.
Yeah, like what, 3 weeks ago?
Get out of here. Well, we are so happy to have you here in the studio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's so good. So, and you just moved here to LA, right?
I did just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, big change.
And why are you in Los Angeles? This is kind of exciting, you guys.
It's exciting. I got a job working for a show on the Discovery Channel, and I'm doing coordinating stuff and being a part of the safety management crews. And we're going out on location all over the world. It's for another survival show, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Oh, and we already have you guys get excited because the entire Pink team is here. I don't just have to pretend I'm Arlynn, but she is on the line. Hello, Arlynn.
Hello.
Yay!
Hi,
I miss you. How's it going?
Good. Very good.
Good.
Just off the brewery.
You did?
Oh. This is what the Pink team does. They eat peanut butter and drink beer.
Yeah.
I still have that peanut butter jar, and I keep it next to my computer at work.
Is it starting to smell at all? Are you a little concerned about this peanut butter?
I don't eat it or open it. I'm a little I don't think I should. And I probably will keep it for like a stupidly long time, and then it might be dangerous, but then it maybe will just steal clothes.
I still have a water bottle from when I was on endurance like 10 years ago that has
That's
water still
awesome.
in it.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like, I get the hoarding thing. Like, I don't know. There's just something about like those items, and especially that peanut butter. Like, some people could argue that might have cost you the whole winnings. I think you guys, if you guys would have gone all like to the finals, you guys would have absolutely won.
I agree.
Absolutely. You guys were just, you played such a good social game to the point where I was so angry in the studio at you guys, but I still liked you. I was like, why are they kicking off the lime? And then wait, you guys kicked off the lime and then the gold team. And I was like,
I know.
what?
Our favorites. I know.
Yeah.
We did. We did.
But I respect, to me it was a game move, and they actually told Rebecca and I prior to voting us out that they were voting for us, and I have respect for that, and their reason was 100% valid. You know, Rebecca and I went from
Lime team
underdogs.
got strategic.
You did. It was nerve-wracking.
Like, you knew your shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I allowed to curse?
We can keep the cursing to a minimum.
Sorry.
It happens. Shane
You knew your
cursed
stuff,
worse
like,
than you.
It showed how much you knew all of a sudden. We were like, oh, eyes are open. He knows
Yup.
a lot of how to play this game.
James is
thank you.
smart. James is not to be toiled with. So let's just jump right into this episode. James, you want to start us off with kind of your overall thoughts of this episode?
I was very excited to see the white team be the hunt team. I know that they really wanted to be the hunt team, and so seeing them they're already intense players as it is, and so I knew that they were going to bring such an intensity to the hunting grounds that I don't think we've seen with the hunt team quite yet. And I think they delivered, and I was really excited every chasing. I mean, we watched the show together this week, and we were both talking about how this was our favorite hunt as an audience to watch because there were so many different parts that came into play with the alarms and you guys having to come together to solve a code, and it was just really intense to watch. It was just, I loved it.
Yeah.
What was your opinion on your last episode on Capture?
My overall opinion?
Overall opinion on this episode. A loaded question.
Loaded question. Well, I thought that it was honest insofar as we did get eliminated. The white team did do a fantastic job, rightly so. They captured us after chasing us a couple of times, and I was really grateful for all of the respect they showed us and in trying to keep us there. That was really wonderful. We really thank them for that. You know, it was interesting to see how it was edited and learn a little bit more about how important this jar of peanut butter we had was. The funny thing is that, Arlynn, you probably have 2/3 of a peanut butter jar sitting in your room still, because we were rationing it.
2/3, at least.
Yeah, we only gave ourselves a tablespoon of peanut butter in the morning, and that was it, because we were trying to make sure that it lasted through the whole episode. But we did share the peanut butter with
We share it with everyone.
including the teal team.
Really?
But not enough, clearly.
Clearly not enough. Because, you know, they weren't eating other people's
The
meals.
pink team is just sitting up there and they're just eating the peanut butter. They're just good, like eating. I want some peanut butter. Like, oh my gosh, if like they said peanut butter one more time, like seriously.
I know. It
Well,
was
I
a
think
big
that was the
deal.
funny part, was the hypocrisy of this whole entire episode when they relished in Gold's feast, 3 days prior to this episode, and they had 2 warm hunt meals back to back. Episode 5, episode 6, episode 7, they had a break, woohoo, but they had nachos in the supply station, and now they're whining about peanut butter. I was like, come on, girls. I mean, it made great television, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I was just like, because it's funny hearing from you girls that you actually did share the peanut butter, because I'm sitting there looking at James being like, why didn't they just share the peanut butter? Like, really? Peanut butter.
We did, and it wasn't like a hunt meal. When you get something from the supply station, you can share it with other people. But most of the time, people didn't share what they got, and if you did, usually it was in trade for something like toothpaste or you know, I remember that. But we didn't ask for much, and sometimes we did just give it because we were, you know, feeling nice. But we didn't go to the supply stations that frequently because we wanted to stay away from the danger zone, and so that was an important resource for us.
I feel like if
I
you
mean,
worked
the
for it,
peanut
you
butter was
deserve
the
it.
first. Oh, sorry, James.
I was just saying, if you work for it, you deserve it. And I think everyone who went to a supply station and acquired food, they didn't share with anybody. We were all happy for
that was
each
the
other.
understood rule.
Yeah, you have to trade with someone. You can't share. You have to trade.
Yeah.
So if you have nothing to trade, then sorry, you're probably not going to get a spoonful of peanut butter.
Right?
Well, actually, the teal team was going to trade us, because they, in the same supply station, got a huge platter of fruit. And they were going to trade us their fruit for some peanut butter, and then they actually ate all of their fruit, and then we still gave them some peanut butter.
Yeah. It's true.
That makes me angry.
So there's that.
Lies. Lies all around.
Yeah.
So white team was the hunt team. I personally thought this was awesome, and those two are hysterical together. Like, he's like
They
my
really
dog,
are.
and I just say sick him, and he just goes. Like, they were so good, and like what James was saying, this hunt, the way it was edited, like I don't know how closely it was to exactly how it happened. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, and I loved that. I loved that we got ample amount of time with each team, and then they forced you all to come together, and I think that really let us see kind of the more dynamics and more of a personality from each team. And I think you guys were completely fine. Like, when they were giving you guys such a hard time, oh, Pink snuck away, like they didn't want to be part of the group. No, Pink team is smart, and they're like, I don't want to be stuck with this big group. But I will say, if you guys would have stuck with the group and you would have had to scatter, I think they would have gone after Teal.
I think so. That's probably true.
Yeah,
All
I
in
agree.
hindsight, though, you know.
It is all in hindsight.
But a lot of
Hindsight
it's luck, too. You can't
Yeah.
really predict where the hunt team's going to be.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I know people have their opinions on who's a weak team and who's not, but it's literally all luck. You saw Red catch 2 strong teams in episode 2, but that's because they ran into them. They direct path. It's strictly luck. I mean, physical is running away, but when it comes to crossing the path with the hunt team, it's all luck.
Yeah. And Arlynn and I had decided, to continue our strategy of trying to get away from other teams, because that's how we'd been successful in the past hunts. So it just seemed that once we had finally done what we had to do to get our alarms to turn off, which was come together, then it was time for us to go back to how we usually play. And we needed to get away from everyone else in order to do that. So,
did you guys ever think that it might have been a good strategy to let the alarms play out?
At the beginning,
I think we did think. We considered that for a second, but we also kind of discussed that we didn't, if other teams are looking for us, we didn't want to be the team that prevented every other team from turning off their alarms.
Yeah.
So we felt kind of obligated, those other 3 teams were our people. We wanted to make sure that we weren't the ones that put them in a bad spot.
True.
Yeah.
Well, Teal on
and obviously it benefited us as well. But to turn off the alarms.
Yeah. Well, so during this hunt, how did you guys feel? Because the first day they didn't catch anybody, right?
No, they caught.
No,
Pink.
they caught you guys day one. Day one.
Mm-hmm.
How far into the hunt was that?
It was towards the end of the hunt, right?
Towards the end. So you guys were kind of feeling like, okay, we might have made it through the day.
Kind of, but I mean, we had spent most of the day trying to find the other teams, because you saw in the episode that we actually had to evade the hunt team once, and that pushed us way, way down into the south, and then we found out where the advantage was, and it was all the way up in the north, so we knew we needed to book it back up north. So we spent a fair amount of the hunt just looking for the other teams, and then once we found one another,
pretty much all of it.
Yeah, pretty much all of it. And then once we found one another, the hunt was almost over, and then
quickly
it all happened.
What was it like being chased by the white team? Because if there's one team that I would be absolutely terrified to run from, it would be Matt and Kalisha.
Well, I gotta say, when they were chasing you guys, it was so cute to me and so hilarious.
It's so cute.
Matt's face lit up like he was a little boy playing tag for the first time. He had this smirk like, oh, we're gonna get somebody. And I was like, that is so Matt. And I loved it. It was cute. But anyways, what was it like being chased?
The same as it is for any team, to be honest with you. It's high adrenaline rush, and it's time to book it, no matter who it is. I don't know. What did you think, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you see I almost feel like we were caught twice. So when Red chased us, I saw 2 huge guys in gray vests. And when White chased us, I saw 2 fast people in gray vests. So, the gray vest is what marks me about the hunt team the most. Beyond that, I mean, it was into this brush, and, the whole time we've been playing this game, we've gotten really used to running and being in the woods. But you can't be so prepared all the time. I mean, we jumped over logs, that last little push, and I don't know that it's fully visible just because there's so much going on, and, our shoulders are bouncing and everything. But what we physically accomplished in that last push to get away from them, I don't know that if someone offered me, $1,000 right now, I could do it. We cleared a
tree, and then she cleared this log, this downed log. I don't know. You were probably 3-4 feet up in the air. I think I stepped over it, but Arlynn just went for it, both legs up. It was awesome.
But you're not thinking, and you're really prey at that point. And I think that's what's so crazy is that, then when they caught us, all of a sudden you catch up, and we looked back up the ravine that we had just run down. We were like, holy, and we all are all of our limbs are okay. Even just that. And we, Kirsten climbed through these hollow trees, and we're sitting, just the physical movement was what really honestly impressed me. That one, that we could do it, and 2, that white team was right there with us. I mean, it was a pretty harrowing place to be sprinting that fast.
Arlynn, how tall are you? You look so tall on this show. Like I mean, and you're not that short.
I am 6 feet tall.
You are okay. Well, that is tall. So
There, yeah, so
I would look short standing next to you, and I'm 5'7". So
Yeah. Yeah, I always
Right.
stood on sandbags during our interviews so we could be eye to eye.
Charity, I love you, but honey, it wasn't eye to eye. It was just so that your head wasn't on level with my boobs.
that would be inappropriate. This is a kids' family show.
That would
family
be not
show.
what we're looking for.
So you guys get captured. You go to the jail. What did you guys feel like as all the teams kept coming down after the hunt had ended?
Well, we actually were just sort of talking about who we hoped was going to be captured in the following day versus who we didn't want to be captured.
And who didn't you want to get captured, and who did you want to get captured?
We didn't want Teal to be captured, and anyone
That was
else
the only
would be
team.
fine.
Yeah.
We'd rather the white team not catch anybody than catch teal. If they caught green or red, we're okay with that. Or don't catch anyone, but just please don't catch teal.
Yeah.
So you guys were that concerned because I felt like you guys had a very good social game. You were very close with every single team. And even when you kicked people off, if you kicked people and other people's alliances off, they were fine with it. And they're like, oh, it's just pink team being awesome. Like, I mean, like that, I felt like that was kind of, you know, the effect you guys had on people. So what type of like relationship did people just see teal team as just weak? Like weaker than you guys, and that's why you were scared to be up against them in elimination? Or like what?
I think it was a combination that perhaps as a hunt team, that they may have been the weaker team, but also, you know, they had an alliance with the red team, and so that was a threat to us.
I tried to break that up in episode 5.
Okay.
I tried my best to break that up.
So I will say that I also thought, but people were also concerned. TLC was a really good a really good prey team.
Yeah, they were.
And those girls could hide.
They went
So
they went
they had
far
the
south
alliance.
every
They weren't
hunt.
good hunt
Yeah,
team.
they did.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying they went far south every hunt. Like they knew what they were doing as prey.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, honestly, now to be realizing how many times they went that far south. So I feel like Kirsten and I tried to keep it varied because we didn't want to have a space that people could kind of think to go find us. But now we're seeing like, oh, well, apparently having a space that you're really familiar with works for you.
Yeah, because they went down that southern tip, that beach that kind of wrapped around the lake.
Yeah.
And by the time Rebecca and I were down there, we were like, oh my goodness, where is everybody? And then I was like, who is that way in the distance? And it's just teal strolling up the beach.
Right.
And I'm like, they get down here every hunt. They go way south every freaking
They just
hunt.
wanted to lay out, like.
Yeah, right? Get some tan.
Yeah, but it was a really exposed area. I mean, it was easy to see anyone down there from above, and it was coming downhill to the beach, so it wasn't a smart place to go if you were nervous that the hunt team was nearby. But
And both of you guys, like, I know you have a very, actually a survivalist background. And Arlynn, what's your background when it comes?
Well, actually, I currently work on an innovation team doing strategy development for brands. So there's that. Prior to this job, I was an adventure guide in Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Peru, and then a teacher in Switzerland. So both Kirsten, obviously, her knowledge of survival is incredible. But both Kirsten and I think, and that's what drew us together as best friends, even back when we were 18 years old, was our kind of mutual love for adventure and being outside.
So you guys have known each other since you were 18?
yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot, I actually also was a professional sailor on a ship
That's
that
true.
was used to
Oh
shoot
my
dragons.
gosh!
It's pretty, it's
Sorry, I
pretty
forgot that
baller.
part.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Sorry, just for that one slipped my mind. Professional sailor, you know, no big deal, guys.
Weren't you on one of the Pirates of the Caribbean ships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ship that was used to film, it was actually the HMS Bounty, which is the ship that sank during Hurricane or Superstorm Sandy this year. Or I guess not, was it 2012?
Oh, that had people on it.
The big ship that
Yeah.
sank off the coast, and they
Yeah.
had that big Coast Guard rescue that a lot of people heard about. So I actually was a sailor on that ship and crossed the Atlantic and sailed around the Mediterranean with them.
Oh my gosh.
awesome, huh?
Can you guys like write a book or like something? Like, or they just need to do a documentary on you guys' lives.
They need a
like,
show, yeah.
Like seriously. Capture was just your launching pad. Now can you guys both do your own show?
There we go.
Like,
There we
please.
Yeah.
So since 18 and how have you guys live in the same area? I know you just moved to Los Angeles. Did you guys live in the same area or?
We lived together in Boulder, Colorado for a year.
Mhm.
We lived together in college our senior year, and then yeah, no.
So
Go
we
ahead.
met freshman year,
Yeah.
and we went to a conservative. We went to Vanderbilt, and I think both it was a great educational experience. But I still remember freshman year, and Curdy, you might be cringing right now. Sorry if I can't see you because this is my nerdy story about this. But
Okay.
it's still to this day it's the
Makes me
most
nervous.
dramatic meeting of a person I've ever had. Like people say like love at first sight, but like this was like best friend at first sight. We were at like a big orientation, and we literally looked across the room, and I think I pointed at her. I've never met her, and I think she pointed at me, and we literally walked across the room and just like met each other, and we could just tell from our like kind of style and attitude and kind of maybe mutual level of uncomfortableness and some of the more conservative things that we literally looked at each other, like met her. I was like, I'm Arlynn, and she was, I'm Kirsten. And we're like, well, we're going to be best friends. Okay, and moving forward. And it was just like done. I think it was just a click of kind of how our personalities worked, and we're very different people in a lot of ways, but we've shared so many mutual values and passions for being outside and that kind of attitude that, I mean, from then on, we were best friends, and then lived together senior year of college, and then both kind of went on our crazy adventures for, I don't know, was it 2 years, Curdy, or 3 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were going to do some crazy adventure, and after we had planned a good part of that crazy adventure, well, not really planned, but like had ideas for it, we realized that we didn't really have any money.
I made
So-
Arlynn move into this tiny, tiny little cottage, and like, okay,
It was a hobbit house.
it was a
I
hobbit.
still
For
had
Arlynn,
just
it was
to
a
walk in
hobbit.
the door.
Yeah, and then there was this hallway that included the kitchen and the bathroom and the toilet, and so if two of us wanted to be in there at the same time, we'd have to like shimmy past one another, and you couldn't turn, you know. And I found this place before Arlynn got there, and I was like, "Buddy, welcome home." And she walks in and like ducks through the door.
But it had a great front yard,
Yeah, it
which
had a
was
huge
great
yard. It
for
had a
like
huge
the
yard.
spring that we were there and the fall
Yeah.
we were there, and then in the winter it was just mostly snow on all of our cool hammocks that we collected from around the world.
That's so awesome. You guys should really have your own show. Like, seriously. Okay, so we've learned a little bit about you. Let's get back to day
back
2
to
of the
capture.
hunt.
Yeah.
You guys are
All right.
stuck in this jail.
We're stuck in jail.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
It was rough.
You see everybody leave,
Mhm.
go off into the woods. What were you
Ugh.
guys thinking? Like, how long were you guys just hanging out, just chilling, and like, or were you guys kind of concerned throughout the day?
No, we were hanging out and chilling. It was really hot out, actually. I was pacing the jail a lot because I wanted to be in the shade, but you're stuck in the middle of this meadow under the sun. It was
You have to understand that Kirsten
Horrible.
find like the whole time, anytime we had any down period during the show, anytime, anywhere. I mean, even like in our bunks, like she would sit on the shade side. Like Kirsten loves shade. I am a snowflake, so I should be in the shade, but I like the sun. But we were in the middle, and she was like trying to make shade out of like the bins in the jail, and she like was successful. And but she would sit over in the corner of like this little shade, and the sun would move, and it would be gone all of a sudden.
What happened to the tarp, though?
Unfortunate.
They took the tarp
Well, we-
during the day, and then gave it back to us at night.
They took the tarp.
I know.
Those bitches.
I know, right? So yeah, it felt like jail. So it was rough. But the hunt didn't last, too long, and then the teal team came back, and I swore for the first time on camera.
What did you say? Okay, yep, I understand that.
I think every curse word there was.
She
actually.
said a 4-letter word. That's what she
Did, and
said.
my fists were clenched.
Did you guys know then? Like, were you like, it's done, or was there still a lot of like communication going on that night?
We were still hopeful, right?
Because it seemed like
we were so hopeful, but actually I remember talking, and we were like, okay, I think we're looking at a 25% chance.
Yeah, we did.
We had done the
odds.
math. We were like,
Yeah.
25% chance if we can convince green. Like, I mean, we had done, you know, and actually people, you know, some of the, like, people were like, have more hope. And we're like, we're kind of realistic here.
Yeah.
We have 25% chance.
I mean, and I was, like, kind of pissed off at the beginning because in the day before, Teal Team got the sabotage, and they gave it to the green team, which we all kind of expected. The scariest looking sabotage I have ever seen. That mask. I had nightmares that night.
How many times did we rewind it on your series?
Oh my god.
There's like one clip of Antoine like sitting in the supply station and they're like talking like, should we leave? And all of a sudden he pops up in the mask and we kept rewinding it just for those 2 seconds because it was just too funny.
He just kind of like,
If Kirsten wore that, I'd probably run away from her.
Right?
Like, the rule would be an issue.
They should have
Like,
the hunt.
okay.
They should have the hunt team wear those masks because I think everybody would
God.
run
Be more
so much
terrifying.
faster.
Oh, I felt so bad for him. He had no peripheral vision. I mean, his vision was confined anyways, but poor thing. It was
I
tough.
wonder how hard his breathing was. Do you know? Did you guys ever try on the mask?
Yeah, he said it wasn't as bad as he expected. That wasn't as much of an issue as the fact that he couldn't see very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how do you run
Like-
when you can't see?
Right.
Um,
I think he was saying too is like not even he just simply couldn't see. Like peripheral vision, I think is how he hurt his eye. Like I think he got a stick in his eye or something. But I mean, just the darkness and the weird shadows that it created was, I think, a big issue.
I would have anxiety.
I was just wondering if it would like fog up, like, and he wouldn't be like because of the moisture and stuff.
they
like-
took out the glass part.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was open.
Oh,
And
so
that's how
he
got the
could.
stick
Yeah,
in
that's
his
how he
eye.
got.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mad respect, and the mask was scary, but I loved it.
Yeah.
So Teal Team comes down. You guys are there. Did Green Team ever approach? Did they ever approach you guys? Did they ever, you know, try like be like, okay, what's your pitch?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, well, okay, so they don't show this, but actually, I got married. I got married on the show.
Oh.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Kirsten got married on Capture.
To Kareem, he was the Forest King and I was the Forest Queen, and Arlynn and Antoine were the princess.
I was
prince.
Princess of the Wood.
Right. Sorry. So
You
anyway,
guys got bored
Yeah,
out
I was
there.
not Princess of the Forest. You were Queen of the
So,
Forest.
you know, I
I
beckoned.
couldn't even handle the forest.
Right. So I beckoned my husband to jail to talk to him, and so we spoke. You know, but things didn't end up going quite our way. I mean, we thought we did after our conversation. We were feeling good about it, but then everything
Yeah.
changed at elimination.
And
Well, I will say too, until Tuesday, like 2 nights ago, that foot shake is very effective because we had not seen any pact being made. I do remember being like, wow, it's just so weird that like we can go talk to our friends, but it wasn't as much a concern of like making deals. It was just kind of they're our buddies and it'd be nice to talk to them. But I didn't know that there was any pact already that put in place. I mean, day one of the hunt.
yeah, and that was such a shame because like, as soon as I was like, no, I want Red or Teal to go. Why would you make a pact to kick out Pink Team? They're so nice.
Well, especially when they've proven that their alliance is pretty strong and they literally have each other's backs, which is great. It seems very effective for them. But at the same time, like, I feel like that would have been a time to be like, all right, green, white, and pink, let's work together and take out this alliance that's
This
practically
super
run
alliance.
this entire show since episode 5
Yeah.
and take them out. Because my philosophy would have been, you have Teal Team, who's already been a hunt team, and they've also gotten the mystery box. They've also gotten the sabotage. They've been to supply stations twice now. They're taking risks, which I can respect and appreciate, but they've proven to be really stealthy prey teams. And not necessarily a strong hunt team, but more so prey team. Wouldn't you rather go up against someone you don't even know how they're going to do yet as a hunt team? Because they didn't know what was going to happen the next round. Because once you're a hunt team, you've been the hunt team and you can't be the hunt team again.
Yeah.
So now that going into the final 4, you're up against 3 teams that have proven that they are worthy hunters. Wouldn't you rather go up against someone you don't really know for sure if they can? I mean, I believe Pink could have, but I feel like at that point I would have rather risked Pink being the hunt team over the Teal Team.
Well, and I don't know what happened, but just like, I'm like, how are they going to like wrap this up? How are they going to, start kicking people out. Like, people can't double up as hunt teams again. What are they going to do? And I'm like, maybe they're going to bring people back. I know, like, when we had Shane in the studio, he kind of, like, I don't know, but he was just like, oh, you never know what's going to happen, who could come back. And I'm like, that would be a great way to get people involved again, is just, like, bring people back and be like, okay, we have, like, one person from this team, one person from this team, one person from this team, and, like, they're all going out there, so you all, like, are all prey. And it's just like, well, then your hardest competitor is going to be teal, because they're the sneakiest. They might be slow, but they're freaking sneaky.
Yep.
So I don't know. I felt like Green Team kind of handed it to them when they made that stupid. And you guys offered them the world on a freaking platter. Like, we will not. Would you guys have, like, stood by that if?
Of course we
100%.
would have. And the thing is, we knew that Red was not going to vote teal off. So what we were really saying was, we'll go after Red all day long for 2 days straight.
And teal.
And teal, yeah.
Which we could have hunted those
and-
two teams. I mean, it was only.
And so it seemed like it was kind of a nice thing to do for green and white, But
I think so.
Same deal, actually, that, not exactly, but same deal that Red had just made with teal. To let them out of jail, we won't hunt you.
Yeah.
Which was such a funny thing that, I mean.
I know, and then I was really
you
disappointed.
say what you got to do, but then she was saying it's against the spirit of the game.
Yeah, but that wasn't it. I mean, it wasn't. I understood it in context for the way that they edited it, but
Exactly.
we weren't not competing. We were just with that in different words saying that we were only going to hunt certain teams.
Red and teal.
You guys, yeah. well, teal would be gone at this point. So I mean, and that's
that's a good
that's
point.
the other
Right.
reason. It's just like, why not split up
Oh, yeah,
a
good
team
point.
so
Yeah.
that they're gonna work together regardless, and you could cut the head off the snake or whatever, and
Yeah.
you just have to deal with the body running around that's bulky and red. But I don't know. It seemed really silly to me, because not that you guys aren't strong, but honestly at this point teal had done so much more in the game in a strategic way than you guys had.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is that green and do you remember when we had to run with green, buddy?
Yeah, I think that was a huge
I
factor
think
in
it
this,
was a
actually.
huge factor too. We were running away from a hunt team, and
The black team.
the black team.
Right?
I don't remember what hunt it was, but
not.
we ran into green, and we were like, "Go, go, go!" The hunt team is behind us, and so they went, and you'd think, oh, the really really fast team is gonna just sprint a mile ahead of us, but in fact, we kept up with them and were on their feet, on their tail the whole time, and I think that was another factor in their decision to get rid of us, was that they knew that we were fast, and
You guys just speak to nature. Nature just it's like part ways. It's like the Red Sea.
we know the
When
right
Arlynn and
trails
Kirsten
to
start
take.
running, they're like, nature's like, help them fly.
Which is, yeah. Well, and I will say, I think green, on a flat straightaway,
Kill us.
but, what I think really scared them, well, at least would outrun me. Kirsten is ridiculously fast. But I think what really showed it to them is that, half the time you're running in terrain that's not familiar. You're running downhill, you're running through brambles, you're running through these things, and that's where, despite our efforts when we did get caught, we actually are pretty adept.
But at this point, you guys knew the terrain probably pretty well. Especially you two, who that's your element.
Yeah, we went all over the place, because as Arlynn was saying, we didn't pick a place just to go every hunt. We didn't go to the south or just to the north. We changed it up all the time, so we got to learn the terrain. We knew it well, and we knew all the trails that we wanted to be on, which is another reason I think that we got caught. We were in a place that we didn't want to be after we had met up with all these other teams. We were in an area that we knew was a bad area to be in, that didn't have the exits and the routes that we like, and yet we were stuck in the middle of it when the hunt team came upon us. So it's just bad luck.
It is.
It happens.
It is luck.
It happens.
Bad luck.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have any any other final thoughts on just this episode, or how you guys kind of went out?
I don't know. I guess The only thing I can say is that I felt like we shared.
Yeah, let me
We
say
shared
that.
a lot.
From being a
shared
part
our
of the village.
fish.
We shared
They did.
fish and all of our knowledge of wild edibles and additions to the oatmeal and the lentils and
And when we didn't have
help for-
rations, we shared our stuff that we had gathered when we were
all
down
that
on
we
the beach.
gathered different medicinal plants like.
That's what I want to say is when Rebecca hurt her ankle, this is when we knew we loved Pink Team. In the first episode, the way we met Arlynn and Kirsten is they came up and showed us a bark that was like a natural aspirin to help Rebecca's ankle.
Yeah.
And that to me is just an amazing quality to have in a competition. And they did share so much knowledge with us about the outdoors. They definitely... they did their part in the village to make it function the right way, and we just have mad respect for the Pink Team for sure.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
Thanks, darling.
Of course.
Well, can we talk
So-
about really quick, speaking of you guys' like nature, like awesomeness, the shelter you made.
Crib,
The four-star hotel you guys constructed out of pine needles and pine needles and logs. It was like a
Yeah.
lean-to that looked more comfortable than my bed, and my bed's really comfortable.
It was super comfortable. Arlynn went all out and gathered tons of pine needles. You did such a good job.
How
with
long
that.
did it take for you guys to make that?
I don't know. What do you think? It took like an hour
An
and a
hour?
half? I don't know. Yeah. So Arlynn
and-
killed it with the insulation. I went and got a bunch of logs and made the frame and. we pulled
Well,
it
what was
together.
so great is that, I mean, Kirsten and I, again, like, we've lived together, we've gone on adventures together, we've been best. So I feel like we do a good job of kind of we know our strengths. I mean, Kirsten knows a ton more about nature and surviving than I do. But I can carry on the stuff and follow direction and, like, help and bring things, and I have some experience as well. And, like, what was just making that one sport, I do think that was one of the best ways of, for me at least, it was so cool because I would go and gather as many pine needles as I could, and I'd come back, and there was, like, the start of the A-frame, and then we'd kind of tag team building parts of it. And it was really cool to, like, have such fun, functional teamwork with a person, you know, like, we almost didn't need to communicate. Like, we could almost just be like, oh, we're going to do this. And, like, we both knew what we should go take care of while the other one took care of the other part. And it just came together, and it was really comfortable.
It was super comfortable. It was a really good night's sleep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wanted to sleep in that personally. Oh my gosh,
Great, we should start charging.
So like, you guys were best friends. You guys have been best friends for a very long time. You have obviously like tons of skill when it would come to a game like this. Whose idea was it to apply to Beyond Capture?
Arlynn.
Well, to be clear, so the way we ended up on Capture, I went to a party the day after Thanksgiving 5 years ago. And someone was at this party. It was a big, you know, everyone's in town for Thanksgiving. And somebody worked for a casting agency. And I'm 6 feet tall, and I have a fairly large personality. And he was like, you should be on a reality show. I'm casting it. And originally did like a quick little video of something for that show, and nothing came of it. And then I was working and got my job doing innovation, which has been fantastic. And I work for this company in Boulder that's, I mean, just really cool and creative. So I wasn't ready to leave. And then I got the weirdest voicemail of my life in February of a call of someone, and it was just like, hi, I'm working with this casting agency, and we'd love to talk to you about doing a reality show. I don't know if you're so interested. It's been 5 years since we ever talked to you. And, yeah, it's just going to be a lot of, like, hunting and living in the woods. Give me a call. Thanks. Bye. And, like, I played it for all of my bosses. I mean, I was just like, there's no, like, what? How funny is this? And then 2 weeks later, I was like, I'll give them a call, because I had not considered it. And they're like, well, actually, it's you and another person. I was like, oh, wait, and ears pricked up. And I was like, another person there, like, I get to pick? They're like, yeah, like, significant other, you know, sibling. Significant other was busy starting a business. Siblings, we would have killed each other. And then they're like, oh, best friend. I was like, got one. I'll call you back. Thanks. And then gave Kirsten a call. I was like, I don't know if you'll be into this. And she was like, let's do it.
That's awesome.
So it was 5 years ago, actually.
That's crazy. You never know, you guys.
They're perfect,
You
though.
never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
that's what was so cool about.
So do you guys have any regrets or any, like, final thoughts on just your whole experience, I guess? Not this episode, the whole experience.
Oh, no. Not on the whole experience. You, Arlynn?
None.
No.
I mean, when I think of the whole experience, like, huge grin. And people have been asking me, like, would you do it again? I'd be like, heartbeat.
Yeah.
Immediately.
We had so much fun just running around the woods.
It was
and, like,
I mean,
awesome.
if there weren't cameras, I would have been doing it.
Yeah,
We would have been
that's
doing it.
oh my God, I felt.
It was so good. Yeah. No regrets. Yeah.
And you do it
No
again.
regrets. And
Absolutely. I do. I mean, I don't have regrets about us not making more official alliances either, even though that may have cost us something, because our plan was to be friends with people and then during the hunts to, play the game. And that's exactly what we did. And so even though it didn't necessarily work out in our favor, I think we played the game we wanted to play. We wanted to be competitive in the field. And then when we were back in the village, we wanted to just be ourselves and be good people. And that's what we did. And I don't know. I think we made our families pretty proud.
Aww.
And,
But why did you kick out the gold team?
I know someone just
Okay,
tweeted
someone
me
just
that.
tweeted. I was gonna say.
Okay, I love the gold team. They know that I love them. They're like the kindest men that I've met in quite a long time.
they're so impressive.
Yeah, but they're
Well, thanks.
but they're an incredibly strong team as a unit, as a pair. To us, they were more of a threat, and we were all of our voting was based on who do you not want to go up against if they're the hunt team. And even though we knew that the red was a strong team and they'd in fact captured us, still the gold team was to us stronger. It was we were more afraid of them as the hunt team.
They're incredibly impressive, and in that they're more terrifying. I mean, they were, from all of our knowledge of them, while both teams were really threatening, really.
Yeah.
The gold team was the bigger threat, and that, I mean, honestly said with a lot of respect, because they knew their stuff, they worked really well together, and they were fast. And
I mean, Nick was an Iron
up until
Man.
that point, they'd been like ghosts in every hunt. I mean, we saw most teams at some point during the hunts. We didn't like to see teams, and we tried to stay quiet. We very rarely saw gold unless it was like the end of the hunt and we're all like strolling down the road.
Yep.
But
I mean, they poof when the hunt starts.
maybe
and
that's
scary.
maybe that's what I regret most.
Was kicking out the gold team?
Well, over the red team, because
I agree.
I mean, in retrospect, yeah, I wish that they would have been there, with us.
Because they got shafted.
And also, we worked a lot with the gold team after the hunts. They were with us when we were, prepping fish and just doing things around camp that needed to get done. And I don't know.
'Cause I think I'm trying to think through the teams. I think gold team, we love being out in the woods, and
So did
Kirsten
they.
is professional at being in the woods. I think gold team is the other team that just really had the passion for nature and being outside, and that was something that bonded us a great deal in the village. And yeah, so they were just such quality guys, and we really bonded with them. Again, they were just very quality, strong, capable, fast, sneaky guys.
Well, who are you guys? I mean, I think maybe we should wrap it up here a little bit, but just so we can get into some predictions and stuff. But who do you do it? We're getting into predictions, guys. We need the scary music.
You're AfterBuzz TV.
Oh man.
Okay, so this question kind of incorporates predictions, but who do you guys want to see win now? Next week's the finale.
Right. Arlynn?
Who do you want to see win, Arlynn?
I knew the answer to this question.
Kirsten was married. I mean,
I know, 100%.
We got family in the game.
on Monday, but now it's a little different. But I still think green.
Green.
Yeah, green.
Yeah, though, Kareem, I expect an email with an explanation because I sent the divorce papers after you kind gonna throw us under the bus, and I expect them to be signed back to me.
Against your wife.
Yeah, like what the
brother.
heck, you know? So I thought that was really uncool of you. You didn't. Not only that you didn't stick up for us, but you were kind of unkind. So I wasn't down with that, but I'll let it slide. I still want a divorce, but I still hope that the green team wins.
Did you guys sign a prenup if they win? Because that would suck.
You know what? If it is the green team, maybe they can buy us a really nice, like, family dinner.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And make it up to us. Or just you can hand deliver the divorce papers at that point.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You got served.
Some free tabs.
Divorce papers.
Yeah, you got served by our dinner.
So, James, who are you rooting for right now?
We're rooting for our two allies, green and white.
And white
We
too.
really want them to win.
Oh, well,
What?
We love white.
We asked for one team. One
I was
team,
gonna say,
James.
we haven't talked enough about how sweet white team was.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, if we can pick one team, I'd say green because we had a green pact, gang green, the whole time. Kareem and Antoine really looked out for Rebecca and I quite a bit on the show. But if not green, I have to say white. I would
Same.
love to see the red and teal alliance go after each other. I really, because at the end of the day, there's $250,000
Yeah,
on the line. You
that'd
can
be
only
crazy.
go so far with your alliance. So it'll be interesting. I think I'm nervous about white team now. I think green's pretty much now with red and teal that I'm worried that white, if they're not the hunt team next week, could be the team that goes home, as much as I don't want that to be the case. Because it seems like there's a strong 3 now instead of 2 versus 2.
Well, and can I just really quick, I meant to say this earlier when we were talking about the white team as hunt team, and Kirsten mentioned how sweet they were when they captured us and just how, like, respectful and, I mean, Felicia has one of the sweetest hearts I've ever encountered, but Matt still said something that has stuck with me as, like, one of my favorite quotes ever said to me and Kirsten during this whole thing, and when he caught us, one, I thought it was cool, they both said, why did it have to be you, which was kind of great, but I also respect them as competitors. I mean, they have to go for the team they find. But when Matt caught, and, you know, he put the towel on my back and he said, well, you know, I tried to be really careful. You know, when we were caught before, and you have all this momentum, and people are running, and you fall over, and it's no one's fault. But I could even, when I felt Matt coming up close to me enough to tag, I mean, I really almost could feel that he pulled back to put the talon, like, gently on my back,
So sweet.
even after that crazy chase.
Aww.
And then he said later, he goes, you know, he was like, I tried to be really gentle. I hope I didn't hurt you. And I said, no, I'm totally fine. He's like, okay, because, you know, you guys are ladies. You're the toughest ladies I've ever met in my whole life, but you still are ladies. And I thought, like, and that was, like, the greatest compliment you could ever give, I think, Kirsten and I. Like, it was just really sweet, and the way they handled even the walking back, and it was just, I mean, not great to see, like, the capture was a great experience, because I'd rather it didn't happen. But it was pretty awesome how they handled it, and just how sweet and gentle they were.
That's awesome. Well, I was going to say I want green to win, but now that I'm finding out that they're siding with the other two, it's kind of making me sad. So I want, like,
White's, like,
white
kind of the
to win.
underdog
Yeah, they're the
now.
underdogs. So let's go underdogs. And sounds like they're sweethearts. But I know we got to wrap it up here, you guys. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
And
Thanks for
I know
having
we
me
only have
here.
2 episodes left, but you're more than welcome to come back or call in. We'd love to
Thanks.
hear your opinion about the whole end of the show. And thank you so much for calling, Arlynn. Where can we find you guys? Can we follow you guys on Twitter or anywhere?
Oh, yeah, I did open a Twitter account, but I don't remember what my Twitter
I'm
name
still
is.
learning
It's
the
your
Twitter.
name. It's your name.
My Twitter, is it my
Yeah.
Kir-
Kirsten. How do you spell
Kirsten
it?
Rechnitz?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's what it is, at Kirsten Rechnitz. I just got one of these Smarty Pants phones, and I'm, like, into the internet now that I have electricity, so I'm on top of this starting after this show, so I'm getting social.
James, you need to
online.
give her, like, a social media, like,
You got
completely
it.
break it down for her.
I've already asked for that for Twitter because I'm in advertising and I still am not good at Twitter. But I do try to Instagram things because I like to take pictures.
That's good, too. Where can we find you guys on Instagram?
I'm Arlynn I think, or Arlynn AI on both Twitter
I think
and
it's
Instagram.
Arlynn AI, yeah.
Can you confirm for me? Sorry.
I think it's Arlynn
I don't
AI on Instagram, but I think it's Arlynn I on Twitter.
You know, James will tweet
Thank
out
you.
you guys' names.
Yeah.
He'll tweet it out after the show.
I do have some really exciting adventures coming up, and so I am going to be writing about them, and I do hope that people read about them on...
I'll make sure to tweet it when you give me the
tweet.
stuff.
Okay, cool.
You can just be her social media platform.
You got it.
Well, thank you guys so much. James, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at James Wallington and on Instagram at Mr. James Wally.
And you can find me on Twitter at KeetinM33 and on Instagram at Keetin33.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
We love Pink Tea.
We do.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.